that this Walkout is spreading awareness for people that don't already know about it or don't think that how serious it is. But I do think that it's a good way to unify the people, rally.
We the people, get your hands up! Unless you in handcuffs, I want to see you amped up! We the people, keep them hands up!
I think we're here to try and send a message to the provost and the central administration that it's time to get back to the bargaining table. And our principal aim is to achieve a contract that brings teaching assistants and PhD students in particular up to a wage that meets the poverty line in Toronto. I think the total amount that the teaching assistants are asking for is very small, so I'm actually quite surprised that they haven't come back to the bargaining table.
It would have a big impact if more and more universities set a higher standard. I'm going into my master's next year, and I want this to be victorious. We strike to win, not because it's fun. You know, I want them to actually set a better conditions of work for the next generations. We should want this instead of just letting it slip away because of austerity or there's no money from the admin. You know, there is money and it needs to be reorganized.
Makes more than 16 of us combined. She won't negotiate with us to get a living wage. And
I guess I brought my family out to also try and show that a lot of TAs, I'm not the only one, have families and dependents, and so that's why it's really important to talk about that getting a proper living wage for TAs. With a family and with graduate studies, it's way too hard to get a job on top of TAing. So really, I think it's the only job I can do with, like, just in terms of time. I think there's other people with families who are in the same situation.
In signing our names and in getting letters out, then we're making our voices heard. Well, we're a large body of people, and whenever you get a large body of people together, then, as I say, it's hard to ignore. Our classes are being affected, they're being cancelled, we're not getting marking done, and so I think we need to stand in solidarity so that all of us can go back to some sort of normality and so that the TAs can get what they deserve in terms of a wage and a funding package raise.
What's happening here is a culmination of however many years of neglect and policy. The university wants to drag this out as long as possible until the province has to step in with back to work legislation. Nothing they've done makes sense to me.
I don't really feel like it's reasonable for us to expect them to change their attitude, and therefore the only way is to force them to change their attitude. And the only way to really do that is to have widespread grassroots support from the undergraduate community, because they're actually where the power base lies, because they provide a substantial amount of the tuition income that the university uses. Right now they seem happy to ignore us. The doors are locked right now. I think if undergraduates were out on the picket lines with us in more force, they'd get the message a bit clearer than they have been so far. Or at least they wouldn't be able to ignore us.